Alright guys, Beeline here back with more Forbidden West, and we are probably... This will probably be the last episode before the final mission. And we're about to do the last two errands I have available, and after that, that's everything I plan on doing. So, let's do it. Also gonna listen to podcasts. Because, debating over whether or not it's worth finishing the game right now.
Similar to Zero Dawn, where you start up and you
there,
race,
on the
you can't
beach.
just like leap across to the left and just suddenly
I need to get closer.
You have to funnel your
See
way
if he's
through
carrying a relic
the
like Joe
mountains, the
mentioned.
valley, like through the old ruins of
I should
the
check
city
if one
and
of them
stuff,
is Joe's
and then
brother.
head. You have to go to
I need
the
to
gate
get
to
one of
get
those machines first.
to Sundown, and it's just like that way of funneling through. Zero Dawn and like Forbidden West, they're not open worlds in the same way like Assassin's Creed is open world or GTA and Red Dead are open world. It's
I
like
should check that scout
this
for relics.
almost middle ground between like not quite God of War where it's way more linear, but it's not as open as like a Red Dead where it's completely open and go in one direction. It's like in between.
Yeah, it would feel weird to drop into Forbidden West and just run all the way to the other side of the map. Like
it's like they make sure you only go to places when they want you to go there. There's also an amount of freedom in like your choice as well, and like how you choose that path. I think that's really cool as well. Like this really interesting middle ground of how they design their own worlds that you don't see that often. Like it feels quite unique, and I appreciate that.
It's like they've thought about everything. They've thought about everything, even down to the way that you make your way through the open world as the game progresses, and that just shows a level of fucking detail that it blows me away. Like the attention to everything.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's absolutely fantastic. I know. We've been
I'm gonna be so
we've
sad.
We've literally been talking about this for an hour.
Fucking hell.
That's insane.
The thing is, I mean, we started this podcast, it was like, Tyler was like, George, how you been, man? I haven't seen you in like, I haven't spoken to you in like 2 weeks, and I was just like, I said Horizon.
It's just happened. It's just happened.
We didn't even talk about our like, doing in our lives. We were just like, no, Horizon. Instantly.
When was the last time we've been like that?
It's crazy.
Because I think when I asked the question, the answer was effective. Like the last time we like. I was gonna say like. Part 2?
Yeah. We're talking about when the whole thing
We're all talking about something.
games that just they feel passion. They make you feel passionate.
Yeah. It's like you can see all the work that's put into it, you sort of feel it as you're playing.
That's all
like
of them.
it's something like
It just feels like you're playing premium.
I just really appreciate it. I'm like, wow, this is like these people fucking did something here. This is really special. It's
Yeah,
It's
man.
a relic. Not sure if
Oh,
either
God, that
of them
spoiler
are
cast can't come soon enough, man.
Maybe one of them dropped it as they fought off the machines.
well, as soon as we're all done with it, you know,
We'll
whenever
focus
that
on
might be,
showing
which probably won't be too much longer.
Nothing.
I know I feel like I'm closing in on the end.
Well,
Yeah.
surely it'll be in 2 weeks from now. Surely the next.
Oh, I
Blue
reckon
Pillars
2 weeks.
podcast.
Yeah, I reckon that'll be enough time.
I'd like to think I'll be done with the main
Better see where it
story.
leads.
Obviously, I'm gonna platinum it at some point, but
Yeah.
I reckon I'll be
We're
done
not gonna
with the
wait
main
that long.
story.
to
Oh
do
fuck
this.
no,
Yeah.
no, not at all. I need to play Elden Ring. So as soon as I've finished Horizon Forbidden West, I'll be
No
going on
relic.
to Elden Ring, which
Can't
is
be Jorah's
another
brother.
fucking apparently a game that resets your fucking expectations of open world games. People are like saying it's the greatest game ever made.
Well, I mean that always happens with
I'm
FromSoft stuff,
too
and I
excited
think
for
I
Elden
think it's
Ring.
probably justified in a lot of areas. Like I do think Elden Ring probably is that good,
Probably, yeah.
but I mean.
Actually, isn't this the
I don't
area?
know. I just feel like From
I think
Software
this
gets
is the area that
they get this kind of praise. Like it doesn't matter what they do, they will always
Looks
get
like
this
a
sort of
huge
praise.
just wait until you play Elden Ring, and you. Will
Yeah, I mean you're probably right.
Like you
Yeah,
love
I
Demon's
did love
Souls.
Demon's Souls, and I completely understand like where that praise comes from. They're just such mechanically well polished games that just function in a way that like is superior to pretty much everything else that exists. And I think that is something that's very special. I guess for me, like in terms of like what, like because Demon's Souls, as much as I can praise it and say like it is mechanically sound in one of the most like incredible ways, it's not like in my top 10 games of all time, because
No.
I guess for me, what I value in video games, I guess there is like that like story aspect
Oh,
to it,
fuck
where like
off.
I like to be immersed, I like to be a character, I like to have that role play aspect, you know.
Oh,
So like
fuck
playing
off.
like a Souls game is like, it's really I'm playing it purely for the gameplay. Like there is cool lore stuff and story stuff, but I guess I'm not really that interested in it.
Oh, fuck off, game. What the fuck?
Interested in it. I know it's just one of those things. Like Demon Souls.
That's the reason I don't play it. Like that's why I don't play the Demon Souls games. Like they look amazing, and I'm sure like they're so well done, but they're just not made for me. Not every game is made for me. And
Yeah,
it's
true.
amazing.
It is
Like,
made
and that's
specifically for
Yeah,
me.
that's true.
From software made
Maybe if I go
Souls.
outside,
And
I'll be
it's one of those things like.
And that's great, and I
Yeah,
love that.
Demon Souls
You
was
know?
I love it for
Demon
me
Souls
as well.
had good lore and like it was interesting. There was some interesting stuff, and obviously, you know, watching your video on it, the tragic world of Demon Souls was a good video, and like it lets you know like a lot more about all of that different stuff. And it's all really cool. I just don't care enough to like seek it out on my own. Like being told about it, I'm like, yeah, it's really cool, and like that is interesting, and like it's so cool that they designed the game in that way. But when I'm playing it, I just kind of am like, it's the immersion of it. Like Demon Souls was so immersive, like just going around like this destroyed, like torn up world that's just like twisted and like uncomfortable and unsettling to be in. And like that aspect of it, like the emotional
there's only one way to be
experience
sure.
of playing a Souls game, I think is what makes it so special for me.
The journey that
Yeah,
it is as
and-
well, like how you overcome all these
Yeah,
obstacles.
it's a
along the
video
way.
game in like
Yeah.
the traditional sense of video game, in a way. It like
It is,
It
it
plays
is,
into
yeah.
all those aspects of what makes video games as like video games and not,
And
you
my
know,
focus
and it
picked
couldn't
up
be done.
data
Like you
on
could
it.
not make a Souls game in a movie or a TV
It's not
show.
a beacon,
It's
it's
not
a
physically possible. Whereas
tourist
there's a lot of other
map.
franchises where
No, 'cause it
you
is a
could
game.
make an attempt at it.
If
Whereas
one could read
the
this,
Souls
I really need
games,
to
like
send scouts out
it
blind.
has to be a video game.
I should
Then you
tell
can't
Alva.
do it any other way.
Hey,
And so I
Lloyd,
think that is something that's very
I'm
special
here.
about it, and I am
Alva.
looking very much forward to playing
I
Elden
found
Ring.
some data I think Bohai
when
might
I
be
eventually
interested
do
in
stream
seeing.
it
I'm just,
I'm
it's
sending
just
it to you now.
interesting
I'll pass it
because
along.
like
Thanks.
so many people
I better
are
take this
like
relic back with me.
praising out its ass. Like
Give it back to
I
Jim.
don't remember Sekiro getting this much praise when it came out. It really wasn't that big of a release at
I
all.
seem to remember it got like.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
Game
one
of the
game,
Year, but
yeah.
it wasn't to this extent where it had like 900k players on the first
yeah.
day. Like
I do
logged
think.
in,
Let's also
which
do
is just
this.
like it's
Yeah, I
crazy.
do think Elden Ring. I to me,
Oh,
like seeing
I thought
it
I
looks
would
like
be able
it's
to.
a little bit less hardcore of like one of those Souls type games, which I guess is why it's not a Souls game. It's Elden Ring.
It's a ring game.
Yeah, it's a ring game. From what I've seen, like
Well, it's from
yeah,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings.
it's
We talked about it on the As Always podcast. which is-
Even though the story was written by George R. R. Martin.
We
yeah,
did all
George R. R. Martin just they got him
on
to
the
write
As
it.
Always podcast.
The sentry
Well,
said
we
the
all know
raft
that
was heading
everything
west. On raft in an ocean.
Elden
Should
Ring.
be easy to find.
But Elden Ring, I think, it just looks like to me, it looks like a really good starting place, to be honest, for anyone that hasn't played a Souls game. I feel like it feels like one of those games where
I don't know.
it feels a bit less harsh. I don't know, from like what I've seen, like from watching people play, or like reading.
Because people are
I
saying
don't know.
that. To me, it just looks like Dark Souls 3, but open world. Like,
I'm not gonna find anything.
I don't know if it would be a good starting
The
place.
sentry
because
said the
people
raft
that are
sailed
long-term
west from
players
Tide's
of,
Reach.
like Dark Souls, are saying that the open world can be overwhelming. Not in a bad way, but like it's the sort of overwhelming where it's like, right, I'm eventually going to get through all this content. I'm eventually going to stumble across all this stuff. So I don't know if it would be a better place to start in Souls than say Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3, because I still think those two games are the like definitive Souls games. But obviously I can't really talk on it because I haven't fucking played it. I'll have to play it and let everyone know what I think. But I don't know if Elden Ring would be a good place to start, because I think a lot of people would get into it and just go, oh, it's too fucking
Is it
big.
not that?
A lot of
It's
big
not
Souls
here.
games are like
It
this
gives
bullshit.
me,
Pages,
and
let's go
I'm a
somewhere
little
else.
bit worried in this regard, but obviously, like I said, I haven't played it, so I can't say. But I'm a little bit worried in terms of how the open world is built. It reminds me, and this is like a weird comparison, but it reminds me of Breath of the Wild in the sense that,
That's what a lot of people have been
and I
saying.
don't like Breath of the Wild, it reminds me of it in the sense that, like, there is absolutely no indication of sort of like what's where and like what there is to do, and I guess sort of like, to me, I guess the issue I have with Breath of the Wild's open world is that it was annoying to navigate, like climbing
Those
cliffs.
fugitives
Was,
didn't
like,
make it too far after all.
you can't just climb
I'll
over a
find out
cliff.
if I go down.
You know, you've
Someone
got to have the
got
right
him off
stamina, and if
the
you don't, you're gonna have to like try and find a way around it, and it takes so long to do, and it's usually not for a lot of reward, and the
You're one of
only
the
real
raiders
stuff
who
to do in the
Tide's
open world are
Reach?
these side quests that,
Where are the others?
yeah, they offer some
Holed
stuff.
up on
like
top
some
of a
goods.
tower across the sea to the west. Where I left them. I thought that they were true Tanakh, but they're murderers, not soldiers.
The Tanakh that Tide's Reach think you should all face justice.
Then they should come and get me themselves. If you want justice, then find the others. Leave me here to face the sea. My last battle.
Okay.
Why did you abandon the other raiders?
They abandoned the cause. They seek carnage, not honor.
You think the attack on Tide's Reach was honorable?
I don't actually
I
care.
wanted to face the guards in battle, but the others murdered them in their sleep.
So those fugitives are in a tower to the west. If they're close to landfall, they could be a threat to the Queen. I better take care of them.
Okay.
Stuff, but like I don't care about the stories really. They're not that interesting. That's not really what the game's about. So it just kind of feels like, why am I doing this? I guess. And then on top of that, you've got like the shrines are the only other thing you do in the world. And yeah, after you've done like when you do like 10 of them, like they're all really fun individual puzzles. But then there's like 50 shrines. And, like I don't want to do them. Like they get really boring, and like it just the world is so big. Like I don't know, Breath of the Wild to me just felt cumbersome and irritating to play. Which is a hot fucking take, because I know everyone loves Breath of the Wild, but
I mean, I haven't played it. I reckon I'll probably
you
like
might
it.
do.
Because the way you describe it there sounds really cool.
It's like,
It doesn't just hand
that's the
everything
thing
to
though,
play.
it's cool for like,
Those
it
fugitives
was cool
must be
to
on
me
top
for
of
like
one
the
of those
first
buildings.
5 hours maybe, and then I just like got really tired of it. It started annoying me.
Because you just wanted to experience the story.
It's
so
not
that
even
you
like
were
I wanted to
stuck
experience the
on,
story,
can
I
get over
I
this
just
fucking
felt like,
mountain?
You want to feel like you're getting better and progressing. Like you feel like
I
you're
felt
always
like I was
stuck in
never
the game.
getting anything done. Like I just didn't feel like I was ever doing anything. I felt like I was just
You get
wandering
somewhere, have to
around,
turn around and
like,
go somewhere else.
I guess it was like, I don't know, like little things like, you know,
I
to
mean,
get up to the
which
top of this
tower?
mountain, I was like, I could go up the top of the mountain, but it might take me 2 hours, and I just don't want to do that. Like, I just don't want to.
What
Like,
do
the
you
path
mean?
to the top of the mountain, because
2
the way you
hours?
climb, it's so slow, and like, you
There.
have a stamina bar, and
Someone's
like,
lit a fire.
if you
It
miscalculate,
must be the
you're gonna
raiders who
fall
attacked
right to the
Tide's
bottom.
Reach.
And it was just like, to some people they might be like, that's really cool to like have to like really worry about those things. But it just pissed me off if I like got almost to the top of the mountain and fell all the way down because I miscalculated how much stamina I would have in my stamina bar, or like something like that. Like as well, like it's cool things like the way you like mess
That was so close, I almost fucked that up.
So if there's a storm happening and you're wearing metal armor, you need to make sure you take it off because you'll get struck by lightning. But I just found it annoying because so the weather changes all the time. So like I found myself swapping my armor pretty constantly, and it was kind of annoying. And as well, like when it rains, you can't climb just slow down. So it meant that like sometimes if it was raining, I just couldn't do things. I was like, I literally can't go up that cliff. Like I have to wait to go and do something else, and it just felt annoying. Like it's something that, like, I guess, I don't know, I might have had more patience if I weren't streaming it, maybe. Like, maybe I could have put 100 hours into the game and really taken my time with it. But I just don't know if the game was for me. Yeah, exactly. And I just don't think the game was for me. It just felt like really cumbersome and just too much. With just like not enough
That's the
reward
last of them.
for like
Those
what I
raiders will be
feel
attacking
is
Tide's
worth
Reach
it, I
again.
guess. So like there was no, like the story's not
Oh, that's it?
central focus. It really is just a
Oh.
game that's a game. And I guess that's the one thing
Okay.
about Elden Ring where I'm like, is the content going to be, because there's obviously there is a story, but like it's a Souls game, so it's not going to be a story game with like a bunch of cutscenes and a main character. It's not going to be like that, obviously, which is totally fine. But I'm just sort of, I guess, thinking like, how are they going to fill this open world with content that's going to make me feel like it's worth going around? And I guess I hope that the boss encounters and the progression is going to keep me engaged. And like, I guess finding these dungeons inside of like, you go into a cave and you stumble across like a mini dungeon, and
sorry.
that dungeon has a boss, and like doing that hopefully is going to be something that's going to be like rewarding enough in
tower
itself.
was
It's going to keep me
assembling
engaged,
nest.
because I think about the gameplay like with
He
Demon
went in there
Souls,
looking for
and I'm
cover,
like,
but
I liked just playing the
he
game.
was
Like, it did
holding on
feel
to that
rewarding enough. So you take
when I
that and you
found
scale
him.
it up to an open world, and you fill it with
Henry.
enough stuff that is
I read the
varied.
data on it.
It should work.
It
But I
had a
guess I've
map
just got
that
in the
can
back of
help
my
your
mind,
people
like,
get the lay of the land.
how I
around
felt about Breath of the Wild. I'm like, am I going to
Eskimo
feel the same way
scouts.
about Elden Ring? I don't know. But I guess it's
All
just
of us
something that I
sharing it
guess
with
I'm thinking
Bohan
I'm
right now.
about.
cautiously excited to play Elden Ring,
It's a
because
good
I
thing
do
my brother
understand your
protected it.
concern of, is this
I'd
open
trade
world
all the
going to get
data
to the
and the
point where
legacy
it's
to
like,
have my little brother back.
Obtained all weapon
too
classes.
much, like, and nothing tells me where to
Glad that
go,
something
like,
meaningful
whatsoever.
came from his death.
Because I know for a fact
I think we're gonna finish the game today.
As promised,
Or like now. I
you
mean.
now have access to my weapon stock. If you bring me the right resources, I can make you anything you see there.
I mean, we're about to do the
Actually,
final mission, so fuck it.
why don't you give this a try?
What is
One of our
this?
best. And if it's of use, you know where to find more.
Thank you. I'm really sorry for your loss.
I know you are. And I'm grateful.
But yeah, the plan is still to platinum the game though. Like even if I finish it right now, that's not gonna be it. Like we're still gonna do a bit more. But what is that weapon? Ooh, legendary sky kill. Oh. Okay. So is it just a better version of that? It's actually a worse version, isn't it? Explosive is better, fire is better, okay. But the oh wait, these are like two different versions of explosives. Okay, so there's just like no regular one. Is it worth doing then? Draw speed. I'll still use that here. Where's the 25% draw speed? Actually, knockdown damage. Oh no, against knockdown enemies? That's not that helpful then. I thought it was like increasing the chances that we'll get knocked down. Burn enemy damage. Alright, let's do that. Then we will equip it to there. So that's the only regular weapon we're still even using. Ropecaster. Oh. So yeah, I mean, I think we're ready. Oh wait, what was that? So, let's do it, I guess. I guess it's time. Where is it here? Oh, fuck. I'm assuming we're gonna talk to people, though. Alright, so that was like the last thing, the ropecaster there. But again, like, we'll still continue playing this for a bit, where I do want to platinum the game. I'm also going to do a replay on stream, at some point. I mean, ideally right away. I'm kind of thinking maybe that is what I'll do on Sunday.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All is here. You know, your focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him, so I had him wait in your room.
Got it. Thanks.
We'll go straight into it.
Well, Silence. Looks like you finally found a door you could open without me.
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company you keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again, I will kill you no matter what the circumstance. Understood?
Very well. Though we'll both face a decidedly short future if you can't get us inside that base.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Other
Thanks.
guest.
Good timing.
Oh, Regala.
The truth is,
Regala.
I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
Oh, Tilda. Oh.
The company you keep is even worse than I thought.
Not a fan of surprises, are you? Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design and output.
How can we be sure?
Care for a demonstration?
Enough, both of you. We're in this together, at least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
Alright.
Better get everyone in the control room so Tilda can tell us what she knows about the Zenith base.
Nothing? Oh, that's just weird. Fuck off.
When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. I will, Rost. Now and always. With Regala out of the way, Hikaru and Tanakh, they're safe. The future's up to them now. I do wish they'd drop all the honorary names they've given me. But if I've learned anything about them, that it's not a battle I am going to win. Focus. It's Varl's. I used to think no Nora would ever accept one. But Varl did. Even when he was overwhelmed. He refused to let me push him away.
Shit, we have conversations.
We've never played Machine Strike together.
Oh no. Aloy! You came back.
I might stream that on Sunday. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is
Wish I
doing
could
the
say we don't
Horizon.
need them. But Silence and Tilda are here for a reason. Even Regala.
Yeah. Enemy of my enemy and all that, right?
Right. Doesn't look like any of our guests are making trouble.
Yet. So, Katala tells me you flew. Well, that's new. I've been busting my balls trying to learn to read. You're out there having all the fun.
Don't worry. You'll be getting all the fun you can handle soon. With the Zeniths.
Looking forward to it.
You, talk to Tilda at all?
I tried. I don't think even a hot forge could melt that ice. And you say she wants to help?
I think so. Well, let's hope. Miss Silence is keeping to himself, as usual.
I was hoping he'd give me an excuse to hammer his sorry ass to the ground.
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one good hit on that smug face of his? After everything he's done?
Sure. Later. Right now, he's got something we need. I better get going.
Oh, you know where to find me.
Fuck off, game. Here.
Aloy, it appears that we have some interesting new guests. I'm glad to see you're okay, though. I heard you gave the Tenakth something to talk about. I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling riding a sunwing.
Sorry to disappoint. Ready to head over to the Zenith base?
Whatever comes, we will endure.
Have you talked to any of our new friends?
Erend and I tried speaking to Silence, but apparently our tribal prattle is unnecessary.
Charming, isn't he?
Shit.
How's Aaron doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost both you and Varl. But he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's stubbornness comes in handy sometimes.
Thoughts on our new Zenith acquaintance?
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of something. She's more like a cold piece of metal, bent on repelling all semblance of life.
She's definitely different. I have to go. I trust you to keep things civil around here.
I'll make sure Aaron doesn't punch Silence in the face, if that's what you mean.
Thanks.
Hey, look. You flew? Kotalo told me. And took out Regala's machines? You know what? I don't even know why I'm surprised. I saw we have visitors and a new weapon. Does this mean we're ready to take the fight to the Zeniths?
Almost.
Oh, and I wanted to give you this for helping me get the data on Leviathan. I didn't really know what to give you, so I asked Zoe what you might like.
Thanks, Alva. I'll put it to good use. Suppose you saw that Tilda is here.
Wait, what'd she just give us, though?
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every question I've ever had about the legacy. Every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with one of the old ones. But now that she's here, all I feel is a vague unease. I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more uncomfortable truths, or just scared of her. Probably both.
Are you okay?
I was wondering, is it really safe having someone like Regala here? She seems angry. The kind of angry that leads to murdering people in their sleep.
Don't worry. We're going to point that anger in the right direction. The Zeniths.
If you say so.
I hope our new guests have been behaving.
This Silence, he's the one who built the weapon that can take down Zenith shields?
He is. Though I wouldn't expect him to answer any questions about it. He refuses to dole out his secrets to us lesser mortals.
Oh.
You know that special part of us that makes us warm, kind, welcoming?
Our spirit?
Yeah. He was born without that. You sure you're okay going on this mission? I know things must be happening pretty fast for you.
I've already braved oceans and madmen who thought they were ancestors reborn. Why not a few immortals with lethal drones at their command, too?
Guess the more the merrier. Have you looked through the data we recovered on Leviathan?
There is much to sort through still, but I believe we'll be able to get it operational and turn back the floods. And I've given more thought to everything we've uncovered about the ancestors. The Overseers would have us believe they were infallible paragons. But Pharaoh wasn't. Not even close. His greed led to machines that devoured the world. The archive of the Old One's knowledge destroyed, just to erase his mistakes. So, when we learned that Eileen had a hand in covering up hundreds of deaths, I started to think they were all the same. Selfish, egotistical, cruel. But, in the end, it's not that simple. The truth isn't a straight line of ink on a crisp scroll. It's a splatter, smudged, and faded on stained parchment. I wish more Quen could see that, instead of looking the other way, or twisting the truth to serve their own schemes.
I doubt Bohai would agree with you.
No, nor the rest of the Board of Overseers. As Eileen said, it's easier to believe the lie is truth, but it's worth fighting for. And this diviner, at least, won't settle for anything less. For that, I thank you, Aloy.
I need to wrap up a few things, but stay sharp.
I'll be ready when you call.
Who's there? Katala, okay. Wait, what's this?
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove. How are you holding up?
I saw you fly on the wings of the Ten, and paralyze Regala's army with lightning. I would say that I am inspired.
Thank you, I guess.
It is I who should be thanking you.
Did you meet Tilda?
There is something about her that doesn't seem natural. I wouldn't be surprised if my sword went through her and she didn't bleed at all.
Honestly, with her, nothing would surprise me. Things will get ugly once the Zeniths realize we're in their base. You'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it no other way. Many soldiers died in the old world to make sure we stood here today. We will endure on their behalf. Though, I am curious how you intend to defeat the Zenith's defenses without an army of our own.
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're ready to fight.
As you say. You have more than earned my trust.
Look, I know you're probably not happy about keeping Regala around, but I want her on our side when we fight the Zeniths.
It is more than she deserves. Even so, I will not question your judgment.
Thank you, Katala. Anything new going on I should know about?
The Quen has been more insistent than usual, asking about the visions at the Grove. Her pursuit of knowledge is relentless. The Ten would have a hard time fighting her off.
Just think of her like one of your chaplains.
Yes, only more persistent.
Your people keep mentioning the wings of the Ten. What exactly does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings, and leapt into battle from the sky for us. To imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess. It is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Kulrut. And now, you have done it. Like the deeds of the Ten themselves, it will never be forgotten. So, tell me, how did it feel?
I won't lie. Pretty good.
I can only imagine.
Okay.
I have to go. But I'll be briefing everyone on the plan soon.
Understood.
So I think we should continue on a bit. Like, I think we should do this. Wait. Is there a way to talk to Silence? No, probably not, right? Right now? I don't know. Like, Like, I don't want to... Well, is there a way you can see who's around here? No. Whatever, let's just do it.
Okay. Maybe it's time to get everyone together so Tilda can brief us. But is there anything I should handle before that?
Yeah, this is definitely the point of no return. So... I just want to make sure... I was hoping the sounds and Tilda would be there, but they're not, so... Yeah, I just want to double check. Wait, oh, he's here. Oh yeah, so let's talk to them.
You managed to sway a Zenith to your side. Care to explain?
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was ready.
There's always room to optimize. But that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my undertakings. So, ask away.
Since when were you so forthcoming?
Since you turned this into a waiting game. And as it seems you have found modest success, perhaps I'm willing to be generous.
I do love sounds,
so your big plan, everything you've been manipulating for the last few months. Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades when you interrogated it. Then you came up with a plan to defeat them by using a Tenakth army and that weapon. And to get the Tenakth to fight for you, or rather the Sons of Prometheus, armed Regalla's rebels with override tech.
Did you have an actual question, or are you still playing catch-up?
So all this time, even before I found the coordinates at the Spire, you were out here scheming. Why couldn't you just tell me?
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I laid out my plans. I knew I would one day require an army of overzealous Tenakth to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be extreme. And I knew you would never allow such a sacrifice, no matter how necessary. Thus, I devised a means to remove your interference from the equation at the Hades Proving Lab.
Oh, shit. So
you
much
wanted
here.
me to surrender to the Zeniths at the Hades Proving Lab. They almost killed me.
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they would find you a useful asset, thereby keeping you out of harm's way and, more importantly, out of my way.
So you really didn't know they had their own clone of Elizabeth?
No. Unfortunately, there was no way I could have known that particular detail.
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here today. Tell me about the weapon. How does it work?
I've upgraded the delivery system. It now emits a wave-like effect covering a significant distance.
That doesn't fully answer my question.
No, but I'd be a fool to reveal its inner workings. After all, why did you withhold your plan for dealing with the Zenith drones? Yes, even you can appreciate the value of secrecy when warranted. Suffice it to say that the weapon will work. The intricacies of how is knowledge that is mine alone.
Why help Regalla take over? If you wanted an army, you could have just gone to Hekarro.
Before Regalla's rebellion, Hekarro was only concerned with battling machines and fostering friendships with the Karja. Even if I gained his ear, he would never agree to send his forces to battle a threat he couldn't understand.
So helping a bloodthirsty exile was easier?
Yes, exceedingly so. All Regalla craved was war against the Karja and anyone who threatens the Tenakth. She would have led the tribe into battle without question, which was precisely what I needed.
Why create the Sons of Prometheus? You didn't need a Sarah to make override tech.
They were a necessary safeguard. My time serving Hades and the Eclipse demonstrated the risks of getting directly involved. Through the Sons of Prometheus, I could execute my plans, all while remaining anonymous.
Except to a Sarah. While I was out there, I had a couple run-ins with the Quen.
The tribe from across the ocean. And
Their entire tribe was shaped around the discovery focuses.
So where are they? They're from
One of
what?
them,
China?
Alva,
They're
even
from
joined
like
me.
Asia?
Don't you want to know more about them?
No. They stumbled upon the greatest technological artifact from the ancient world, and what did they do with it? They shrouded the knowledge they unearthed in mysticism and taboo, creating a pantheon out of corporate shields.
Yes, well, it also led them to Thebes.
Did it now?
So those run-ins with the Quen I mentioned. On one of them I teamed up with their expedition to search Thebes. We found Pharaoh at the end.
You must have needed Omega clearance. So, what was it like?
Worse than you can imagine.
He single-handedly wiped out collective human knowledge. I'm sure it was still less than he deserved.
Let me guess. You would have scraped him into a jar so you could prod his brain, like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
How did you get Sarah to work for you?
I knew there was an associate of the Oseram tinker, Durval, who escaped his failed assault on Meridian. It was trivial to track her down and gain her cooperation. She wanted to succeed where Durval had failed.
So you promised her Regala and the Tenakth. The Sarah would help you create a machine-writing army, and wanted to see Meridian burn as much as she did.
And so a partnership was born out of thirst for blood, bonded in mutual self-interest.
You think you had everything figured out, huh?
I did.
All right, Silence. I think I've talked to you long enough. I'll let you know when it's time to go. And try not to mess with Tilda while you're in here, okay? I don't need the two of you butting heads.
Ah, yes. About your Zenith ally. I wonder if you understand what kind of person you're dealing with. For someone to live as long as she has, outlast as many calamities, well, your goals may be aligned now, but I'd watch for the moment they develop.
Yeah, so is she gonna be the main antagonist moving forward?
Someone else I know.
Survival is only a necessity to my greater purpose, Aloy. I'd hoped you'd recognize that by now.
Do you know something or not?
Oh, I know a great deal of things. But on this, you just call it a feeling.
Oh, a feeling.
Like, obviously Tilda has other stuff going on, right?
Guess even you can change, Silence.
Okay, so where's Tilda? So that's cool that each of these rooms essentially end up.
There's Gwen stuff in here now. Must be all of us.
Have we not looked at that? Oh, I think we have. It's Catalo. Is it this
there
one?
you are.
Yeah. That's cool that they gave everyone a room.
Despite my reservations, you managed to secure Silence and his weapon. You're truly a shining example of Liz's fortitude.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. How you were friends with Elizabeth. It was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together for a time.
Okay, so...
Okay.
What happened?
I was an orphan. I had always been alone. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. We kept running into each other at conferences. We'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks. I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange of ideas, but then I was surprised at how much I looked forward to seeing her. Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I could imagine a future where I wasn't. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void for her. I know I did. But as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted less, and I wanted more. And
so he ended things.
So helping me, restoring Elizabeth's dream, it's what,
a second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. I should have done more. So when I saw you, a woman who has carved her own remarkable path, beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you. To do right by her.
How did you make the data
So
channel look
much.
like your house?
I built that house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place, not just for me, but for the art stored in its depths. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly, some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
Why do you think Elizabeth pulled away?
I've wondered that for 1,000 years. She was brilliant, visionary. She cared so deeply for the world, for the betterment of humanity. But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share her burdens. I think, in the end, she had a core that she never let anyone be part of. Sometimes I wonder if anyone really knew her.
I found a recording of you and Elizabeth back in the proving lab after Farzineth's attempt to steal Gaia.
Yes. A most unpleasant conversation.
She said something after the call. I think she regretted how things ended between you.
Did she? All this time, thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words we ever said to each other. And that her last impression of me was as a functionary of Farzineth, not who I truly am.
When it's time to break into the Zenith base, what can we expect?
I'll go over the full layout once you've assembled your friends. Suffice it to say, we will need to push as fast as possible to Beta and Gaia's location, dealing with heavy resistance along the way. There are also printing facilities where the others have been amassing the natural resources they've stripped from the region.
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to fabricate more Spectre drones, a small army of them.
When I was out in the wilds, I saw a shuttle take off from the island, heading for space.
It was likely ferrying materials to and from our ship in orbit. After hundreds of years luxuriating in our digital comforts, the ship was barely space-worthy when we made our escape.
So I'm seeing the final mission here is about an hour long. So, let's see how this goes.
You said before that you're not like the other Zeniths, but you never were. But you went along with all of their plans.
Out of necessity. I'm not proud of it. But complicity became a means of survival, both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Sirius was destroyed. I did what I had to. But I resolved to remain one step ahead of the others, to try to undo what damage I could. Hence the data channel with Beta. The secret passage into their base and the little trick I pulled to save you.
Have you figured out how Silence's weapon works?
No, and he's been very careful not to allow me near it. I'll admit it bothers me, but regardless of how it functions, I am confident it will deactivate the other shields en masse.
How many of them are in the base?
10, including Eric and Gerard. Only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony collapsed.
So that's all that's left? Oh shit. What?
So Eric Was he always a bloodthirsty psychopath?
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private military company. A band of cutthroats, in other words. Even as governments abandoned human combatants in favor of automated warfare. He found success with clientele that required a more personal touch. There were also rumors that he personally hunted and killed his targets. On occasion, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he retreated to virtual reality simulations. In them, he could go on rampages as violent as he pleased, though I suspect with diminishing satisfaction.
All of his tribe believes he was one of the greatest people from the old world.
Then they would be quite disappointed to meet him, though I'm sure he'd bask in the adoration.
What can you tell me about Gerard?
He was the head of the world's largest financial conglomerate, and as such had dealings with almost every major corporation. It made him one of the wealthiest people on Earth, and certainly the wealthiest among Far Zenith.
What does one person do with that much money?
Buy more power, more influence. Gerard's always believed himself to be a refined patrician, able to maintain control with a polished smile. But beneath that exterior is a cold and calculating operator. It was his decision to restrict Beta's upbringing to her digital educators, the avatars of the Apollo database, while we were painted as her benefactors.
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough. And the others.
I would very much like to see his face when he realizes we've beaten him.
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I found data on a man named Stanley Chen. I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. He was one of the good ones. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas in virtual reality. Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfectly recreated. And while others cloistered themselves in their own fantasies, he flung his doors wide to everyone.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth?
No, he perished when our colony was destroyed. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of his beloved city survived.
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient research facility, I saw another one of the Zeniths, Verbena. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of brighter constellations. Unlike most of Far Zenith's members who amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals and technological achievements, Verbena inherited her billions. Her father had achieved great success in the luxury holotourism industry. At age 24, she became the world's most eligible bachelorette, branding herself a life designer. Someone who leverages their fame to influence the choice of others.
What, like a cult?
In a way, yeah.
Well, she must have done something right
Kind of
to
funny.
have survived this long.
Those are like social media influencers.
That much is true. But even rats can cling to a vessel for escape.
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zeniths. What about the rest?
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Titans of their industries.
And let me guess. All selfish and ruthless to the core?
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got along. Annika Murjani, for instance, was always delightful. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself mesmerizing to watch. And I had fascinating discussions with Song Jiao about her work in cellular biology. Our immortality treatments are due in part to her achievements. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CEO of a fast food printing corporation. His only real preoccupations were perfecting his golf swing and taking self-hollows. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more. We had eternity.
Okay. I'll let you know when it's time.
I'll be here until then. And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this chance.
So,
My past has always been a
it's
struggle.
right, like almost
More than
3:30,
once
but
I've lost
I think I'm gonna try to finish the game today.
When I look to the future, I see Liz's dream fulfilled.
Even though it's probably not responsible for me to do so.
Maybe we can make it happen.
But to be fair, I also will probably just stay up super late
I won't
doing
let anything
videos.
get in the way. I promise you that.
Alright. So we'll head back up and then we'll end. In the next episode, we'll actually continue on. Where the fuck is this? Alright. So we will end here. Next episode, continue on. For now, thanks for watching.